And good afternoon, and welcome to season 5, episode 24 of the Leaders Only digital show and podcast. I am Samaj,
And I'm Kendall.
and we're brought to you by What a Change, Massey Mentoring Inc., and Tone Drone. Please invite your friends to check out our Leaders Only show, have a watch party, subscribe to our channel, share, like, hit the bell, comment below. And if you're watching after the live stream, you can always hit hashtag replay in the comments and let us know that you were here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we expressed our thoughts last week on the Marvin Sapp 40,000 closed the doors controversy. This week, Marvin Sapp provided additional content behind his request for money. He said that as a minister, fundraising was a part of his job at the international convention, calling it stewardship rather than manipulation. Some have taken issues with a particular moment when I instructed the ushers rather firmly to close the doors during the offering to those unfamiliar with the church content or who may not regularly attend worship gatherings. This has been misinterpreted as holding people hostage as well as offensive. That was never my intent. It is unclear how much money was raised for the pen, the Pentecostal. Pentecostal. I'm sorry. Assemblies of the World Inc. Marvin Sapp didn't receive any of it. The Pentecostal Assemblies of the World Inc. issued a statement apologizing to whom may be offended by the manner of receiving donations. Unfortunately, Marvin Sapp has been receiving death threats due to the misunderstanding. So, pretty much, man, you already know that I kind of expected him to get all type of bash, pretty much threats, probably disrespectful comments and things of that nature. It's necessary to voice your own opinion, and have him come back. That's expected by him. I still have the same feeling. I don't think you should be forcing people to do something if they don't have it. It looked crazy. The delivery was crazy, but at the same time, that's why I don't really feed into the churches and the religion gathering. I'm very spiritual, and I definitely believe in the Most High. But if you don't have it, you don't have it. You can give naturally every day. So no matter what it is, it could be your time, it could be your heart. It could be doing a service for somebody. It could be anything of that nature. It don't always have to be funds and money. As far as currency, that's what I feel. How you feel, bro?
Yeah, I mean, first, I feel like it wasn't a genuine apology
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
coming from him or uh, 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 clearing up of a misunderstanding. I feel like it was just him, trying to kind of save his face. I
Right.
also feel like I said before, I hold the same stance as well. I feel like it's all in how you do it. I personally think that's the way, not to lock no doors. Like you don't have to do all that. First and foremost, I believe, from my understanding, that that wasn't even his church. I believe he was visiting another church, allegedly in Baltimore. So you was at
Mm-hmm.
somebody else's church. You know what I'm saying? Doing that. I feel like that's an issue, but say for instance that church was actually about to go out of business, or say for instance that church ran into uh, a structural issue with the building and it cost $40,000, then you should come out and say that. I heard that in his rebuttal or his explanation that he was talking about that the funds would be used like it costs for the church to upkeep, blah 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 blah, and not in not verbatim, but he was saying stuff like that. And if that's the case, then you can come out and say that. Like it for him to say $20 from y'all, and we're gonna do $100 for those up here because it costs to be up here. It's like putting yourself on a higher level than people I'm not one that just want to harp on the negative, but all in all, I just think it was done in distaste. The tonality of it was wrong.
Hmm.
Even if you didn't mean to hold them hostage, to tell ushers to shut the door and lock the doors and all that, it's not necessary. Look, we trying to raise $40,000 so for the scholarship fund. We trying to raise $40,000 so the church staff can go to Africa this year. If you want to donate, cool. If you don't, you don't. And it's whatever you want to give. Because to my understanding, tithing is supposed to be 10%, but every time I went, it was like, man, you can give what you can. You know what I'm saying? Then, like I said before, I didn't know that the Most High needed the money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Every time I ever read a story or been in a situation in my own that didn't even take reading the story, but if it was something that I was supposed to have or if it was something that I was supposed to do, I didn't have to go out and force people. You know what I'm saying? The Most High took
Hmm.
me to who I need to go to, and it came to me, whether it been a job opportunity, whether it be, linking up with friends, family for idea. Sometimes it's just being able to sit you still so you're not going out here and getting more liabilities than assets, and you just being able to save so you can do things. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
just all in how you say it. Lastly, I think it just puts an exclamation point on why I feel the churches are they don't have a stronghold on the community any longer. It's because $40,000 or just bringing up finance so much and leaving the Most High out of it through walking in our lives. It's like people can identify more with that bag. That's why it upsets so many people because it's like, oh, hold on, you got it down to a T. You talking 40 grand. So I make 40 grand. You got people that sit in your congregation that make $40,000 a year or less. And you talking about making that right now before we walk out, like that's like a slap in the face in some instances because it's coming to you and it's not gonna benefit me at all. And I don't even make that in a
Right.
year, bro. Even if your salary is 40 grand, once you pay taxes and stuff, it's still under 40 grand. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I felt like it was just in its entirety distasteful. But I think, like I said, it puts an exclamation point on why I feel the way I feel. Whereas though within our culture we don't have, morals, ethics, values, and structure across the board, because we don't have that spirituality piece. We have too many individuals utilizing the convenience of religion as well as using religion as a weapon, weaponizing religion
Right.
for and again, this is just my thoughts, but I feel like that's why within our community we don't have a universal code amongst one another because we don't have most high sitting at the forefront of all of our lives in our community.
I get it. I get it. I get it, man. You a lot of points that you touch on, I can definitely get and see where you're coming from. Yeah, it's a crazy situation, you know. A lot of things like back in the day, man, it used to be service for a service, and it's what I'm saying. Like they don't even take things like that no more. You know what I mean? It's always about a dollar. Um,
Hmm.
so it's just crazy. But uh, we can go on all day about that. So go ahead and jump into the next one, bro.
Yeah, man. Monday was April 1st, and social media was flooded with this breaking news. They said Dennis
Hmm.
Rodman was found in his apartment on April 1st. Police reports indicate the former Bulls star met his fate due to a tragic autoerotic asphyxiation accident. Rest easy, Dennis Rodman. Heaven has another angel now. This was posted by Memor Runner GPT. That should have been a sign. A number one
Hmm.
AI content creator on Facebook with 69,000 followers. They use cutting edge AI tools to generate the content, and then later in that day, Dennis Rodman debunks the death rumors with an Instagram post, alive and well. Uh, First and foremost, man, uh, when we were growing up, Dennis Rodman was big in pop culture. He was one of the first to take pop culture and sports to the rock star level. So he was definitely a household name, whether you knew him
Hmm.
for sports, whether you knew him for putting on a dress. Um, I felt like off of the court really drew a lot of us away from Dennis Rodman, but his name is so, or his personality and his character was so polarizing that you can't bypass it. So you never want to wish death on nobody. But when you see that, whatever PT, GPT, we have to be mindful. I remember they would do that without AI with Tiger Woods. Like they done probably killed
Hmm.
Tiger Woods probably about 10 times on social media. So it sucks, you know what I mean? I really think it sucks for them to play around with your name and stuff like that. But all in all, man, it's good to see that he's still alive and well. Again, when I hear Dennis Rodman, I just think about those memorable runs with the Bulls, him playing with the Bad Boys, with the Pistons, and him being with San Antonio and coming out and dropping his sneaker line and having his sneaker. I remember when he dropped his first signature sneaker, and I had a pair. Outside of that, as of late, I haven't really been keeping up with Dennis Rodman. I know initially when we seen it, it wasn't a shock. You know what I mean? Although the scientific term is kind of hard to pronounce, you would literally think, man, through all those years and all the stuff that Dennis Rodman do, to even seeing it now on like social media or the reality TV, like I guess this is just a good story just to first see, man. It was April Fools, but then second, just to I guess kind of I identify it, or maybe it's easier to explain why I choose the route I choose and the stance I choose, not to really get with the celebrity no more. Because had he would have been gone, I mean, that's really what it is. It would have been Instagram posts. You really wouldn't have been surprised. And that's a terrible
Right.
way, to go, because he was a hell of a basketball player. But that's what I'll be saying about um, just because you're a great athlete don't mean you're a smart person, or don't mean you a smart businessman, or don't mean
Right.
you are, or that you're thinking for generations ahead, or even that you just a great, that you tied into the most high, or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It just means you play sports very well. But I always looked at
Right.
Dennis Rodman as a person. I looked at him as a person hurting. You know what I mean? So I,
Yeah.
I would right now in my mind, um, just thankful that he's here, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to wish death on nobody. But when I think of Dennis Rodman, it kind of makes me wonder, what type of pain is there? Because
Hmm.
that lifestyle just screams out, I'm hurt. Even if when you see
Hmm.
Instagram clips of the reality TV shows he'd be on. You see the crying, you see the lashing out, you see, that young man still inside of that old adult, still crying out for some type of healing. It's just magnetized because he's a celebrity and on TV, but
Yeah.
it transcends into our community, and it's so relatable on how many of our parents or such and such parents or the adults in the community that have not healed, who take
Yeah.
powerful positions, or who have to mask it every day just to go to work and do it. But imagine those people, being coaches and being,
Right.
parents, and being, people that are having an effect on younger people. That's where it kind of leads to the conversation of why the youth is, not respecting the adults as much or stuff like that. It's like if Dennis Rodman wasn't famous and a basketball player, we would be talking bad about him. Like, man, he just you know what I mean? He just a drug addict. He just a party animal. He just, you know what I mean? And it stems from trying to suppress some pain. And that's what I would
Hmm.
identify these youngsters. You know what I'm saying? They just young, trying to suppress some pain, but also trying to mask their fear, trying to mask their pain by being the toughest or proving themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
you could just see that. So when I think of him, that's what I thought of. You know what I mean? It's sad
Right.
what they would do with that by posting that, but I just like to translate that things into our reality because I ain't really in the celebrity world of it, but it just makes you think like, yo. before I leave this earth. Like I want to be. I mean, I guess that's why I start thinking more too. I know I was always doing right by people, but I want to help as many people, be the driving force to their healing. Not the person who healed them, because I believe everybody should heal themselves. But we got to get more currency out of here than just money and fame, because you can't take money with you. And the fame, I mean, it pretty much goes when you go. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
yeah.
man. Yeah, I totally get it. When I think of Dennis Rodman, yeah, like I piggyback off of the last thing you said. Besides the NBA career, which you excelled in, it's just spiraling out of control. Most of the time, like on the 30 for 30s, and the sports documentaries of them and things of that nature.
Hmm.
They always give them the down road of what,
Hmm.
but never know what the problem really was, or what the problem really is, continue to be. So yeah, man. But when I visualize Dennis Rodman, besides what the people put up on social media and through the media and on TV, I always think of the colorful hair and the excitement of
Hmm.
him on the court. Not the big scorer, but the dominant defensive player and rebounder. So
Hmm.
um, we glad that you still living, Mr. Rodman. And it's a sick world, man. People do sick things, man, and it continues to show that social media is a bully.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel.
Yeah, man.
So next, go ahead. You got something?
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say, man, just to learn from it, you know what I mean? Because it was a joke, you know what I'm saying? Because it is
Mhm.
April Fool's. But to learn from it, it means just, you know what I'm saying, take each day, you know what I mean, as you can, and get the most out of
Yeah,
it, for yourself.
always, always, man. That's a fact, bro. Um, in a more encouraging social media post, a school in Dallas invited fathers to a breakfast for boys who didn't have dads. Over 600 men came to support the students. Let's watch this video and we'll hit you with our thoughts when we come back.
How y'all doing, gentlemen? You're about to witness something extraordinary that happened at Billy Earl Dade Middle School in South Dallas. They were organizing a breakfast with dads event, but they knew that some dads would not show. So they posted this message online: please share, men needed. The reality of a great event like this is a lot of our kids will not have a dad present. We are in need of at least 50 or more additional male mentors. And what happened next stunned them all. Look at all these men here. Isn't that amazing? Hundreds of men showing up to mentor the boys, 600 filling the auditorium. The look on the students' faces said it all. Sharing the simplest of life lessons: how to tie a tie, how to play the trumpet, and sometimes just offering an ear.
Hi, David. My name is Exorion McQuarter.
Exorian, in the 7th grade, told us it inspired him.
It was pretty special, a one-in-a-lifetime experience.
He met so many fathers, like Assistant Chief of Police Jason Rodriguez, right there with 6th grader James Cruz.
When I walked in the room, words could not describe the feeling that came over me.
It was absolutely a life-changing event.
Jameel Tucker, a volunteer dad too.
Our young men need us, and it's our time to pay it forward.
Which is exactly what they did.
Yeah, man, that's fire. I love that. Love to see that. Need more men to continue to do that. You see on our show, we stress that the father be in the household. You know, we so many of us don't grew up without a father or a stepfather or a mom boyfriend or something of that nature, which can go either way. In our way, in my coming up, speaking on mine's, it went both ways. I had a stepfather, my dad too. I had my regular father, biological father. I mean, and I had a godfather, and I had an older brother. So I had a godfather by everybody. So it was just kind of great for me. So I love to see that. I would love to contribute to that. I try to play that role in my life now when I touch these youth. I might not do everything that I can do, but I try to make myself available where I can, and I'm working on that because I do want to be in this youth life because we have a lot of nieces, nephews, little cousins, friends that have children, and I'm definitely focused on that. So that was a dope event, and I'd love to see that again. What you think, bro?
Yeah, I think it's yeah, this is one of the instances, when you're scrolling down the timeline and you're thankful, that the algorithm is switching, and you're getting to catch some positive stories. So first and foremost, kudos to the school, and to whom I forget the lady name who made the post, but shout out to her for making the post and then people
Yes,
showing
sir.
up in numbers. I love to see that. I want to see more of that, especially, in all of our communities. But since they did, show up and answer a call, that's what's needed on all levels. You know what I'm saying? We need calls to action. You know what I'm saying? So again, whereas like we talking about Marvin Sapp, that's where you don't need money, in that point right there. But if you do need it, you just explain what you need. You see what she did? She said it, everything
Yeah,
that they needed. And she got
yeah,
what please share men needed. You know what I'm saying? Christina, yeah,
you got
shout
it.
out to her.
You got it.
And
Yes,
it's
sir.
right there. So that's the same thing you could do. It's a learning experience. I thought it was very dope, especially for the young men. What I would wonder is how often they would do this. Will they begin a group off of this? Because that's the thing. I
Yeah,
hate to be the Debbie Downer. I dislike being a Debbie Downer or anything because that's not what I'm trying to be. But through my experience, that has been the problem. It's like a flash in the pan. The one time thing really might capture one kid, but we need that reassurance. You know what I'm saying? We
hmm,
need from that one day calling the fathers for that one day, teaching them how to tie that one day. We need that to turn into a program. To maybe it's once a week, at least once a month. You know what I mean? It needs to be having accessible men. Like, can I text you? Can I call you? Can I come to work with you? You know what I'm saying? Can I
yeah,
see what you do? You a barber, you a plumber, one is a police officer or a sheriff, whatever. Can you know what I mean? Can you continue to show me this? And the reason why I say that is because you'll have this program go on. It's only one day. There's 365 days in a year. How many days out of the year am I without a father? How many days a
right.
year am I being influenced by the community around me, the environment around me? You know what I'm saying? I always tell parents, like, you think you have more influence over your child, but who gets majority of your child's day? Just like your job has more influence over you, um, if you don't know how to cut it off when you get off. If you don't know how to cut it off, it gets the majority of your time. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I would just like to see it first and foremost, like I said, commend them. That was great. That's the way you show up. That's a great example of community. That's what we need on first and foremost that level for a program. Then that is what we need when it comes to eating better and working out. We need to be militant. We need to be reading together when it's time to read, when it's time to learn, when it's time to put finances forward. That's what
Yes,
what you seen right there was literally how successful communities thrive, for generations, be it small or big, we're there, you know what I'm saying? So I tip my hat. I would love to
sir.
see it mirrored in other situations, but in that situation in particular, don't let it go. Since you have such a positive response, don't go for light. Don't go for light. Go big. Since you have that opportunity, you have people's ears and eyes. So utilize it. Utilize their eyes and their ears for something that can be beneficial for years to come.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, that's awesome, man. Like you said, kudos, man. And before we go to the next story, man, I'm just gonna go ahead and take us to a break right quick. We want to encourage everybody to stay in your best physically, mentally, emotionally, socially. Uh, be careful with what you watching on social media, man, because it definitely can influence the mind. It definitely can influence the emotion of you. It definitely could trigger some things. So be careful what you're strolling and watching. The weather is changing, and with it, sometimes the respiratory challenges. So please take care of your health, man. Find some good supplements, natural herbs and things of that nature to keep your immune system and everything strong, man. Be aware of your surroundings. Watch what you're touching. Make sure you're washing your hands frequently. Keep you some sanitizer. You know, try to surround yourself and keep yourself safe with people traveling in groups. Try to stay close as possible with somebody, man. Make sure somebody has your location at all times. Eat, sleep right, meditate if that's your thing. Read more if that's your thing. If you're watching TV, man, make sure you're watching something productive that won't trigger you and make you go the wrong way. What else, man? If you like cooking, things of that nature, man, just make sure you're eating the right things, man, that you intake, man, because what you intake can trigger what you put out, and it can cause somebody else to be effect, like a domino effect. So make sure you just paying attention what you putting out, man, to the universe, because you definitely going to get back what you put out. And if you in need in anything, if you're going through anything, your mind, you feeling harmful, or you see somebody, or you hear something, or if it's just you, we got our own emergency hotline. It's 988. Call or text. Don't hesitate, man. If you're struggling, you don't have to put your name. You can be anonymous, or you can say who it is, man. Just make sure that you on top of that, man, and that stay productive, man. Life is too short, man. You never know when it's your time. So from here on out, man, you should be trying to elevate each day and better yourself in all aspects. But on a better note, that all white coming up, man. It's Labor Day weekend. It's gonna be a heck of an event, man. Something that I ain't been through in at least it's probably been about 20+ years for me. And I can't wait. So we're gonna play this video that the all white 2025.
Hey man, what's up? Top of the afternoon to all my So Focused family, friends, and all of my Spartan alumni, new and old. It's been a minute, man, but we're back and we've got a whole lot to celebrate. The All White is making its grand return for its 20-year anniversary, and trust us, we got a venue that's pretty much bigger than ever. We're not just bringing the tradition back and restoring the legacy, we're elevating it. This year, it's more about the party, the legacy, giving back, and celebrating greatness. We're honoring you and our brothers, Kevin Talley and Terrell Whitehead, for their induction into the Spartan Football Hall of Fame, launching scholarships for future Spartans, and we'll be supporting the Green Run High School football team. Oh, and did we mention, I'm in full character because we've got a dope comic book series tied into this event. The storytelling, the energy, the memories, the impact, it's all coming together. We're bringing it back home to Norfolk, where it all started. It's going down Labor Day weekend, so that's your answer. Sunday, August 31st, 2025.
Yes,
Mark your calendars. Go ahead and get the shopping. Go ahead and spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend, because this is an invite-only event. So be on the lookout for that exclusive link to get yours. Stay live.
yes, yes,
Yes, indeed, man.
sir.
Just was walking the venue premises Thursday, man. It really is bigger than it's the biggest event venue we've had thus far. Is really dope, man. You're gonna really be in for a treat. So as we move forward, the website will be ready next week. So just be on the lookout for that. We are going into our last story of the day. Father who
Yes,
killed
sir.
his 6-year-old son because he was too fat is sentenced to 25 years. Christopher Greger thought his 6-year-old son Corey McColio was too fat, so he forced his son into a deadly treadmill workout. He put Corey on the treadmill and increased the speed and incline until the boy flew off. Gregor is seen picking his son up and putting him back on the belt, but the child falls again and continues to struggle to keep up. Gregor is seen at one point biting his son on the back of the head before forcing him to run again. The autopsy revealed that Corey died as a result of blunt force injuries with cardiac and liver contusions with inflammation and sepsis. Let's watch this video and we'll be right back with our thoughts. And we're back, man. So as you can see in the video, man, which was so hard to watch, um, dag, man, you just number one, rest in peace to the young man that lost his life. I send my condolences to the family of him and of his mother's side and father's side, those friends, classmates, anybody who had love for this young man. This is very sad. Um, Outside of him passing away, you see this a lot with parents, be it, trying to relive their life where they exited off in sports or maybe some type of extracurricular activity, trying to force it on their kid at an early age. This is a clear example of why I say that you have to pass a mental health exam before having children. Because I'm not going to act like I'm gonna send my prayers out to the father as well. He's gonna need it for the next 25 years. But I say that because I just pray that people just get to a space where they can think past the negative thought that you having. So, we can just be human and maybe his son did something. Maybe it wasn't his son at all. Maybe something happened at work. Maybe the mother did something, something. You know what I mean? Just something, right? We pray that we can get to the level of peace to where people don't control us that much to make us go do something stupid, something based off our emotions, something um, that we're going to regret, and I feel like this is something that he's going to regret. It's sad to see somebody so young bounce off of a treadmill like that because an adult running on the treadmill, and if it's too fast, they slip and it hurts. You know what I mean? We've been there. Like, there's countless of us that slipped off the treadmill before, and it don't feel good. So when you see a kid, number one, trying, like he's trying his hardest right here to keep up speed, and he can't. But even more, he shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? I don't have children, but I work with them. And even if you want to punish a kid, chastise a kid, there's so many more ways that you can do it to where number one, you can have again a honest conversation. I tell my players straight up, and sometimes your voice may raise because you're passionate, but I'm not cool with what you did. So since I'm not cool with what you did, you're not going to have the benefit of this and this and this. As simple as that. I'm not your father, so in that instance, I'm just speaking on behalf as a coach, but as my child, when I have children, I expect to be honest with them and let them know what I expect. If you're not hitting your expectation, and I'm not doing everything that I'm supposed to do, then that's an issue. But if I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, your mother is doing everything she's supposed to do, and you're getting all the things that you're supposed to get in order for you to hit your expectations, then you should hit them. If you're not, we need to come to the table and have a conversation. I'm not opposed to putting your hands on kids because that's some kids need it. We came up that way. You need discipline. But at this point in my life, I know mentally that you don't have to strike somebody in order to um, chastise them, you know what I'm saying, or discipline them. You don't. You get it's so many ways where you can do it, especially taking away stuff that they love. You know what I mean? If you love that, then you got to do some things that you hate. You know what I mean? You got to pass that test. You got to go to that class. This is the trade-off to get to the things that you love because that's what life's going to be. You can do that from your son writing a paper. If he had to do schoolwork, reading a book can, like I said last time when we were talking, when we were speaking on ways that you can, when we were talking about hazing. In this instance, yo, a kid, you got to do 15 squats. 3 sets of 15 squats, no weight, just up and down, bro. That hurt. Sitting there holding a book next to the wall hurt. You know what I mean? As a kid. So, um, the dad's fault in entirety. You know what I mean? There's not much that I can say. I'm just trying to find other ways to look at things because this stuff happens around us daily. We just may not see it, but and we may see it, you know. But adults take their frustration out on children. This been happening since the beginning of time, and this is why we need our adults to heal. Because if not, you're going to keep passing on this pain and this dysfunction.
Yeah, yeah, that's a fact. I touch on this. This is a couple of points I wanted to touch on about it because I feel I could piggyback off of you, but one, as I noticed in the video, his dad is not in shape. So
Mm-hmm.
why are you like you're not in shape, brother? Your stomach is over your belt. Um, because you got a tight shirt on and you look buff don't mean you're in shape because you don't have a rip in your body. So that was one. Um, he's a kid, like he's moving super fast on that treadmill. So
Mm-hmm.
without getting forced to do it, if he slips, I seen adults on a treadmill in Planet Fitness and one like fall off the treadmill, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And they not getting back on after that. So just imagine how he was throwing them up there. If he would have hit his head right then and there, he could have died right then and there. Like we don't know what he did
Mm-hmm.
off the camera, but for a fact we can see that he's attempting to kill that young man right there because you're throwing him on a machine that's at least going 10 to 15 miles per hour, bro. Like that little boy's
Mm-hmm.
legs moving so fast, it looks fake. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
damn. Then did this happen to you? Did this happen to you? That's what I'm thinking. Because the way he's falling off and the way he's watching, this happened to him before. And somebody was doing that to him from the way it looks. Somebody was standing over him in the same position, doing the same thing to him. I can only imagine. So, like, what is his profession? One, and dog, you got to look in the mirror. You don't even look good enough to be calling a kid fat. Anybody fat, anyway. But that's your child. Like you putting that toxin in them early, and I don't respect that. 25 years, you lucky you just got that. That's how I feel. It's a sick individual. I know he has some mental. So just like it's like bros always say, yeah, I definitely agree with getting a health evaluation. You got to a mental assessment or something before you start having these children because you that's sick, man. To see torture on that little boy like that, no matter what race, that's racism right there. Calling them fat, that's a form of racism right there. So like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a form of bullying. Um, it's definitely hate speech. But at the same time, if you fat, you fat, and he's fat. You know what I'm saying? He's past the level and could be leaning towards obesity soon. If he just continues the diet, like you said. But that's what I'm saying. Looking at his body, and just looking at a lot of these videos, you know what I mean? That made me wonder about that too because you'll see some kids like supernatural kid da 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 you'll see that real big on YouTube and that be the thing with marketing and stuff. You don't know how many times they edited this, you know what I mean? You don't know. It's
Right.
also when it's like that, that's an anomaly kid, you know what I mean? That's a kid that might grow up to run a 4 flat, might grow up to run a 10 flat, 9, 8, 6, 100 meters. That's an anomaly. That's a flash in a bottle. That's a once in a lifetime. That's not your kid. Your kid, on
Right.
the other hand, whereas though he can't do that physically, he can do some things physically. He can stay in shape for sure. But your kid may be a genius in another space. Your
And
kid.
who
That's what I
feeding the
mean.
kid?
But the
Who
thing
feeding them
is,
stuff?
but the same thing is he looked like his diet is better than his father's, but what I'm saying is everybody was born before popularity, before choice. Before choice, you were given a purpose. Listen, before choice, you were given. So to be given something, that's before you get to choose. So you were born with a purpose. Here we go again, forcing whatever you want on this kid, and
Yeah.
we'll never know you won't, you know what I mean? We never know what it looked like to figure out, man, what's this kid's purpose gonna be? What does he gravitate to? What's his gifts?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can go and lastly, I feel like we passed that stage. I already felt like that. We were having this conversation, I think, yesterday. Uh yeah, Thursday on Divas Talk, as to why a man who knowledge was on the show, and he was just saying, do I think we'll ever have ultimate peace? And I was just saying no, only because I know what it takes for everybody to be in a line. You got to be on the same frequency. So that means you got to wait for people to change their diet. You got to wait for what they listening to, wait to what they subscribing to, get into their spirit. It's going to be too much. But I would like to be in my world that I am in, aligned with people in my world, not the main world. It's not going to all be kumbaya. But I say that because the adults of today, the reason why the youngsters are the way that they are, you can't distinguish the two. Because the adult that come tell you the what to do, or tell you to get in shape, or tell you to do this, or tell you to save, or tell you to do this, yes, you should still take heed to the message because it's up to you to have discernment. But there's what's better than a message and somebody saying something is showing you. So had he been, you know what I mean, in shape, had he had his mind right, there's tons of ways that he could have got his son a full workout. He could have imitated the things that he does, you know what I mean, that are heavy and that are strenuous. He could have made a modified version for him, and here you go, father son workout. So where his son goes up year by year, because one thing that the internet loves, just as well as the community would love, is to see people grow. They love to see where you started from, and they love to see you continue to grow. So I just feel like by murdering his child, I feel like he missed out on the opportunity to build with this child on so many different levels, and not even just monetizing off of it and making content, just for the simple fact that, hey, Pops is got a little belly, you know what I mean? It's time for Pops to get right. Eventually, even if he never even, forced his child to work out with him, his son would have been imitating. Had he would have got the dumbbells, his son would have ran over there and tried to pick up one or found something smaller. He would have just been imitate. That's what kids do. They imitate. So, uh, all in all, man, rest in peace, young fella, man. Everybody else who have kids or work with kids or you intend on having them, I just pray that people just take some time to heal, man. Heal that little evil, mean, hurt, disrespectful person that's inside you, because it was inside me. I know, you know what I mean? A lot of it is passed to you. You don't know why. And you need to figure that out. But it's not a good enough example to say, man, I'm this way because I come from this family, or I'm this way because my mom was this way and my dad. That shit ain't a good enough answer, man. Because when people have an encounter with you, it should be it should be fruitful. You know what I mean? It should be beneficial. If I'm having a bad day, but I come across you, it should be a better day. You know what I mean? That's the way it should be when we get with one another. But if you constantly feeding into negativity and feeding into low vibrations and listening to low vibrational music and watching low vibrational TV, eating low vibrational food, you can only wear that mask for so long until the true colors come out. And the true colors come out when you are tested, when adversity hits you in some form or fashion, be it a disagreement at the gas station, be it a disagreement at the food spot, be it a disagreement in your home, be it your son or daughter, you know what I mean, doing something that you don't like. It's the true testament of how you respond. And you can't get in the place of peace, and you can't get in the place of happiness and just growth and evolution if you're going to continue to give your power away. We got to take our power back. So I know it's time to close the show out, but all in all, man, I just pray that every week, every story, we are here to give, our thoughts on it, but I just pray that people learn from it because that's what I do. Overall, I learn from these instances and I take it as confirmation. Like you see a child, father doing this. I'm thankful to be in a position I'm in to work with young men and I don't have to do it that way. Um, you also see the thing with Marvin Sapp. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thankful I'm in a place where I'm not leaning on religion, for my connection with the Most High. You know what I mean? And I'm not allowing money without the Most High involved to dictate what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I could be open, I could be honest with people. I can win and you can win. I got books, that say, contracts, you know, our business dealings are supposed to have the Most High in it. You know what I mean? So I don't want to do no deals with devils and demons, and I'm cool. I don't care if it's $300 billion attached to it. You got to work on yourself. It has to be somewhere where you are grounded and you know that you are much more than a European concept of self worth. You know what I mean? That's only a piece of paper. You don't really have no worth if they change the paper to dog shit. If they start saying, man, you got to pay me in dog manure, that's what the currency is. So that can't be the ultimate value of how much dog poop you can collect. Can't. Same thing with paper. Yeah, we need money to survive, but it wasn't always like that. And we only need money to survive because we letting a small group of people tell us who we are, what to do, how to do it. We've allowed them to attack our land and our minds, bro. We need to get our minds back, or we're gonna be forced to keep lashing out, such as this man did to this youngster. So, in closing, man, this is the Leaders Only digital show and podcast live streamed every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We appreciate you joining us for season 5, episode 24. We pray you enjoyed the show and we look forward to you joining us next week, same time, same place. Let us know what interests you and we'll bring that show to you. And we're also brought to you by Water Change Mentoring Inc. and Tone Drone. I am Samaj, and my brother Kendall was with us. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell. Comment and email us whenever you feel free at leadersonly22@gmail.com. We always looking to hear from you in a positive way or an honest way. See you next week, same time. It's been a blessing. We love you all. And last but not least, all the information you need on us, be it website, be it the mental health hotline, or following us on any social media platforms. It's been rolling through and scrolling through all show. So please contact us in any way if you need any help in any field. Have a great week, y'all. Peace.